When you gamble, you're telling God, I don't trust you. I'd rather try to get help my own way. That's something that God got angry about with the children of Israel. Children of Israel thought they could take care of themselves. Oh, we don't need God. We can, do things on our own. Every time God comes to the rescue of the children of Israel, right? Turn around, helps them, and then every single time, children of Israel always turns their back to God. Always turn their back to God. We don't need you no more. Once they get on a good leg, they're on a good leg, and they figure we don't need to worship God no more. We only needed him when we were in trouble. That's why I don't gamble. I don't play the lottery. Because when I play the lottery, if I ever do, I'm telling God indirectly that I do not trust him. When we trust God, we let go of everything else and we put our full trust in him. The birds that fly around, and I don't mean to make you upset by saying this, I'm just telling you this because it's the truth. That's it, man. I'm not trying to do anything to you. I'm not trying to make you do something you don't want to do or make you do something based on my own opinion. I am telling you the truth. I had a hard time understanding it, but I began to realize the truth that I used to play the scratch offs. I'm not going to front. I did the same thing. I never played the lottery with the numbers, but I did the scratch offs. And I realized after doing Bible study a lot and talking to different people, I realized that it's a form of not being faithful to God. Because look at this, the birds, when they fly, the birds don't work, right? They don't work. They get worms and stuff, but who provides those worms? You know what I'm saying? Like what type of work does the birds do? The birds don't have to worry about shelter and stuff. God takes care of those birds, right? And Jesus said they neither sow or reap. And Jesus compared us to the birds and said, how much greater are you than them? You know what I'm saying? So by saying that, he's saying, how are you different from them? If God takes care of them and they don't have arms and whatnot to really defend themselves, how are you different than them? God will take care of you the same exact way. To put our trust in God is to say, I'm not going to try to attempt to do anything on my own unless God directs me to do it or he brings it to me. And we're not supposed to be anything of the world. Anything the world does, we're not supposed to do. I see people nowadays, they'll take something of the world, like for example, like they'll take smoking cigarettes and say, yeah, we can smoke cigarettes in a holy way because, we're doing this for God. No such thing. No such thing. That's just an example, by the way. I'm not saying literally. No such thing. You can't just take something like that. Like I tried to do the same thing. I had a username on here. It was called. I went to a couple of Christian channels and I learned the hard way. I tried to take something that was a bad term in the Bible and use it for a good intention. Didn't work. It didn't fly. In fact, I got rejected out of a few places because of that. And I began to realize, even my wife turned against me on it and was like, you're wrong for it. You can't do that. So I just thought I'll just shed that knowledge to you, just in case you didn't know. But if you knew and you feel like you're in the predicament that, you're just going to do it, then that's you. But I feel like it's a form of telling God, I don't trust you. I need to still try myself. Because basically what you're doing is you're hoping to win by picking numbers. And you're trying to do some work to get money, in order to, and you're doing it in a good intention, right? You want to take the money and you want to give it to the homeless and everything like that. That's good. That's good. But in the form of doing it is what's wrong about it. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that I'll tell you that. I don't want to discourage you or make you upset, angry at me. I mean, I got to tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. A lot of people turn from me from telling them things like this because it takes them out their comfort zone. Same way, when I start talking about God and everything, he starts walking away because he knows what I'm saying is true and what he's doing is wrong. And it's just sad. I hate that when people do that, but I just got to accept that that's them. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want people to fall in the same mistakes I fell into. So I try to tell them before they fall into the mistake, or while they're in the mistake. I say, look, I was doing the same thing and I learned this X, 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 X. You know what I'm saying? And you can research it for yourself into the Bible. I can give you some scriptures that will confirm what I'm saying. And but overall, God is feeding you. He is feeding you. You got that. I got my. God is feeding us, man. If it wasn't for that, like what would we do? You know what I'm saying? And we thank God for that money. We thank God. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta thank God for being. Say, Lord, I don't like to be like this, but I thank you for. You know, it could, you know, something could have happened. Like while you had, you could have lost, then became homeless or something. Some very, very unfortunate predicament could have happened to you. And God, you know, I'm not saying that God caused this to you, but maybe this happened so that you can be saved from a different predicament. I always think like that. I always think that if I didn't end up with, or if I didn't end up in the predicament I'm in, something worse could have happened to me, but God didn't want that to happen. So by doing this to me, it protected me. You know what I'm saying? It kept me from a worse situation. So I make the best of every situation and thank God for, you know, being in the situation.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not going to turn away. Everybody's entitled to how they feel, but yeah, I am going to help people. Now, let me ask you this. Let's say I hit the thing. You're Would you take the money because I gambled it? Would you refuse to take, let's say, $10,000 if I say, hey, here's $10,000 to help you get on your feet? After what you just said, I shouldn't be doing that. Now, would you take that money to help you, you know, because that's what I'm going to do. All I want is to live comfortable, even the way I am now. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not going to buy $1 million mansions if I win. I mean, I might buy a house, something like out here where I live at now. I like it out here. But most of that money is going to go to helping poor people. That's what I'm going to do. That's my objective. I'm not going to be, you know, because as easily as you get it, it could go away 1, 2, 3. God could take that away from me. But my question to you is, after telling me what you just told me, let's say I offer you $50,000, so you could buy a nice house for you and your kids or whatever, or $100,000, right? Because I'll be a multi-millionaire. Would you refuse to take it because I gambled it or no? Let me ask you that question.
I'm going to tell you like this. If God wanted you to have $1 million, you would have it. Anything God wanted you to have, you would have it. So if you was to give me $10,000, before I take it, I would go to God first and make sure that it's what He wants me to have. Remember, I gave my life to Christ. I'm no longer mine. I'm His. So everything we go to God. Every decision we go to God. You know, she used to depend on situations. Like she'll say, oh, if I need to go to the coffee shop, then when I get to the red light, it will turn green. Like, or if I need to, stupid stuff, like if I'm walking down the street and I see a duck that's been spray painted and it's missing a leg, that means that I'm going to get rich tomorrow. Like stupid stuff like that. Like, no, man. But, you know, we go to God in everything, you know, and we have to get permission from Him on a lot of things. And if God wants me to have something, I have it. But if it's not from God, I can't accept it. You see what I'm saying? That's how the devil works. The devil was to make you think, oh, it's for you, you know, and it's a trap. The devil is so sneaky, man. He's been here longer than all of us, so he would know. And we must know, what he knows. you know, before it happens to us. Soft as a dove, wise as a serpent. I'll never forget that in the Bible. Soft as a dove, wise as a serpent. So, I would be hesitant to accept that amount from you, and I would have to go to God before I accept it. And if the Lord gives me an answer to not accept it, then I can't accept it. Even though I'll be like, oh man, it will solve so many problems. You know, it will get us we'll get this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, my faith cannot be corrupted based on what I want, what I think I want, and what I think I need. That's how faith gets corrupted, you know what I'm saying? And then that faith is sour now, you know what I'm saying? So I've been in predicaments like this. Before I gave my life to Christ, I was an unsigned artist. I was doing music. You know, I've done music for 15 years, so I know the business inside and out. And this A&R representative of this record label came to me and said, look, he said, listen, it was a she said, listen, we want to meet you in New York City. Meet us at Street in Manhattan, wherever that is. And they said, meet at this address. So I went to this address and I sat there for 2 hours. Now, before they let me know where to go, they said, we'll give you $25,000 if you sign this contract. And I went. I wanted the $25,000 and I wanted to be signed. And I wanted the $50,000 or whatever they promised me. And when I went there, they weren't there. I stayed there for like 8 hours. No one never showed up. No one called. No one emails. And I never heard from them again. Now I'm telling you this story because I want you to know something. And I began to realize I was fooled. On the same day, right? I was supposed to show up in with my right? And what really happened was, this is what the Lord revealed to me. What really happened was, it was my in the emails. She foiled the whole entire thing. She got me to go as far out as she possibly can get me. Somewhere in New York City, just picked a random spot, and she made up the emails. And this is what I believe the Lord revealed to me. And I was fooled. Now look at that. I made a decision on my own will to do something. And I went out there. I was not supposed to have that money. The money didn't even exist. And that's just a lesson to me from God, saying, this is what happens when you try to do things on your own without me. You get fooled. You get played. I end up missing the in whatever the matter was between me and her. I got fooled. So when we try to do things on our own without God, we get played in the end because we didn't trust God. We decided, oh, we're going to go out here and try to do things in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm without him. Look at what happened to the children of Israel when they tried to do things without God. They didn't make it an inch. Not one day. They all failed. Everything fails when God doesn't approve of it. Everything fails when we do it without God. Everything fails. Everything will fail. In fact, sometimes God will let things happen. Oh, you want that car? Fine, you can have that car. You know, people be asking God, Lord, pay my bills. Lord, do this. Lord, Lord, Lord. Asking, going to Jesus like he's an ATM. Oh, Lord, do this. Lord, do that. Do this. Do that. You know, and God gets so tired. Fine, have that car. Bills are paid. Fine, fine. And God will let someone go out there and fall right on their face for them to realize that they needed him and they couldn't do it without him. Because everything that God has touched always been successful.
Roger that. All right, listen, I gotta go. I gotta eat something before my sugar collapses here and have my coffee. So we'll finish this later or whatever. And my brother-in-law is on his way over here with a table that he's gonna drop off. So, we'll talk some more later, and I'll listen to that message there about the cancer and all that. I didn't really catch the whole thing, so. So we'll talk later. Have a good day, and I'll catch you in a little while.